Hi crafty friends, this is Jenny from crafttestdummies.com, and today I've got a tutorial for you. We're going to make this adorable little shamrock pin, perfect to show you're Irish or to wear for St. Patrick's Day, and we're going to make it with polymer clay, some metal leafing, and alcohol inks. So stay tuned and I'll show you how. This project today, you're going to need a few basic tools and a few basic supplies. That's going to include some polymer clay, and use the clay whatever you like. I'm using some Primo in black, and then I'm also using some translucent, but you could just as easily use white in whatever background color you like. You're going to need some alcohol or solvent-based inks. Today I'm using Pinata. Again, use what you like. You may want to have some alcohol, this is rubbing alcohol or blender solution on hand. You're also going to want to have a couple of cookie cutters or a blade. You're going to want to be able to cut your basic form, and then you're going to need a little weeny teeny heart cookie cutter so we can make the leaves. And then I'm using another little basic cutter here. And then also really important today is you're going to need some metal leafing flakes or sheets. Use whatever you like, but this is what's going to give us that beautiful shimmery shininess that we see in the piece. Okay, crafty friends, the most exciting part of this technique is actually applying the metal leafing to the clay. So this is a piece of translucent polymer clay. I don't know why I chose it. It just seemed like, you know, it would not add too much bulk. This is about a 4 or a 5 on my pasta machine, and it's well conditioned and nice and smooth. So the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and add the metal leaf to my clay. Now, you can use odds and ends for this. If you've got a little bit of this or a little bit of that, feel free to kind of use what you have. I think I want to keep this mostly silver though, because I really want it to reflect the inks that I'm putting on top. So I'm going to get a fresh leaf out, which is kind of fun. Now, if you've never worked with this before, I did make a video about this stuff. Also, it is very prone to static and flying away in the breeze. So if you have a drafty area, I recommend making sure your ceiling fans are off, and you know, making sure that there's no vents right over your surface, because this stuff will take flight in the breeze and you'll never see it again. But I'm just using like a stenciling brush to smooth it down onto the surface, and I'm not really worried about the edges because that's not really where I'm going to be putting my ink anyway. So once I have it kind of sufficiently covered, and I don't want it to be perfect because I am going to crackle this, I'm going to go ahead and add some color. Now you can use any alcohol-based inks, Adirondack inks, Pinata inks. You can even use solvent-based refills, like for your StazOn or for your surfaces. I'm just going to add a few drops of this stuff, like so. And then I'm going to add a few spritzes of rubbing alcohol. I just put rubbing alcohol in one of these spritzer bottles. That just helps me move the color around. And that was obviously a little too much moving around because I want more color than that. Thank you very much. There we go. Just, yeah, oh, that's nice. Isn't that pretty? And then where it goes through the cracks, it's actually kind of pretty, isn't it? And I have that nice, pretty, springy green. It really does not look like much on the camera, but it's much darker in real life. I'll add a little more. There we go. So that all I would want to do now is go ahead and kind of set this aside and make sure this is nice and dry, and then I'm going to cut out my little shapes. Okay, now what I'm doing is I'm just using this little teeny weeny itsy bitsy cookie cutter to cut out some hearts. And you can, you know, find those little cookie cutters in the bakery section. Now what I'm going to do is just lay them on top of some black clay that I have conditioned. I'm going to put this one over here like this. This one's going to be a 3-leaf clover. And I'm going to use a little bit of tissue paper over the top just to help me burnish it down so I don't take the leafing off with it, like so. There's my little 3-leaf clover. Isn't she cute? Now, if I want to create a little stem, I can literally just cut a little bit of the scrap clay with whatever I have lying around, like so, and just have that go right off the edge. And again, just lightly tap it down. And then take off the excess, like so. Now what I'm going to do is following the manufacturer's directions for whatever clay, we're using, and I'm going to go ahead and fire this. And oh, by the way, this is 2 layers of black clay on the thickest setting that my pasta machine does. So, or, if you like, maybe 3/8 of an inch. Is that about right? All right, now let's go fire it. So here I am with my finished project. This is the one that you saw me make in the video step by step, and as you can see, I cured it and then I added a layer of epoxy resin, and this is a 2-part epoxy that you mix together and you pour and then you wait 8 hours for it to cure and be solid. For this one, I actually added a dam of packing tape all the way around and then poured it in so that I would get that really thick built up look. You can see here it's almost like a layer of clear glass on the top. But you're going to need to add something to the top so that the foiling on top won't scratch off, because it will. And if you're not going to use resin, then you could use a layer of like Pledge with Future Shine floor wax. It used to be just called Pledge floor wax, but now it has, a different name. But anyways, that floor wax will help protect it. This is another one that I had made before, and instead of making the dam and building it up, I just used a doming resin product. I actually think this might be ice resin, and this is clear cast, and it's non-doming. So you can see I get a slightly different look. It's a softer around the edges when you pour it on top versus when you create a dam. You can also finish it in the back by adding a pin back. This one is just glued on with super glue, or you could add a bail or a magnet, or drill it. It's kind of up to you what you do with it after this. But I think these are just adorable. It's a fun way to use your alcohol inks and metal leafing, and also get in the spirit of St. Patrick's Day, or wear your Irish green anytime all year. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here. Please give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and we would love it if you subscribed to our channel. Stay tuned, because I will have an end card that has links to both the alcohol ink reviews and the metal leafing overview. Thank you again so much, and have a crafty day. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here. Also, if you wouldn't mind, if you found this video helpful or informative, could you give it a thumbs up? It really helps us out. And better yet, why not subscribe? That way, every time I upload a new video, you'll get it first, and you don't have to wait for it to show up in a blog post. So thank you so much again for watching, and have a crafty day.